Which is the second, there you go. Okay, meeting will come to order. Roll call. Red. Here. Lisa.
Yep.
Ashley.
Here.
Amy.
Here.
So, no guests tonight. First we'll look at the minutes from our previous meeting.
A long time, front and back.
There's just one here.
Nice job.
Mm-hmm.
Someone move to approve them?
I move to approve.
Second?
Second.
All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed nay. Motion carried. Okay. We'll start with the TNR program. Trap meter release. So the three people, Ashley, Lynn, and Tawny, that approached us initially are not here. They can't make it tonight. They did, what's his name from?
Preston.
Yep, Preston Moore. Sent a possible ordinance that's used in another city that we can review. As per our questions from last meeting, one thing that, so, good. One question we had was, what about testing and vaccinations? And in a typical TNR program, neither of those are done.
Except rabies, right? I thought they vaccinated for rabies.
Because you can't ID a cat.
No.
Yeah, and you don't want to put collar on. So,
And you can't
I
double.
thought they tipped their ears.
that just tells them that they're neutered.
Yeah. I guess it doesn't tell you whether they've been.
Right. And can be modified. I mean, that's the standard one.
Yeah.
Rabies is only good for 3 years though, so that's kind of like a finite thing.
First one's good for 1 year, after that it's good for 3.
Okay. I don't
But
know
how are you gonna know which ones you vaccinated?
Yeah.
Well, yeah,
Yeah.
unless you would tip an ear and then you figure, okay, that one's, but then it'd be the year thing would be the
Yeah.
big problem.
Yeah.
Yeah, that may be really difficult to.
You don't wanna keep notching their ears.
Their ears will be gone.
Yeah, that probably would not be great.
No.
We were hoping, I mean, this was useful. Humane Society has done a lot of these, and so writing it up is helpful to us. We still need to make a couple of decisions. One is how many cats are we dealing with, and is it economically feasible? And this would be a separate program from the stray program that we have now, because that does include testing and vaccination and looking for
Yeah.
homes.
They don't get turned back, they just find homes.
Is that right? Any other comments or questions? If you look through that,
Have they gotten back with you about a possible number of cats?
Nope.
No? Okay.
no, they haven't.
I'm just kind of bothered by the fact that we're gonna mainly deal with one.
Mm-hmm,
Person?
mm-hmm.
I mean, is there
Inside
any
the-
other recourse that we could have?
Well, it's inside the city limits, so legally we have recourse. Because they're in violation of
Yeah.
animals at large. And if they aren't their animals, then there shouldn't be a problem trapping them
Yeah,
and relocating them.
Well, they should be getting fined for having those animals on their
Absolutely, because
property
it's,
also.
yep.
yeah.
But
And that-
who becomes in charge of relocating them at that point? You know,
Yeah.
it's hard to relocate 20 cats.
Yeah, especially.
I mean, look what every city's dealing with.
Mhm.
There's
I
a
mean,
lot of
any
sick
animal
ones.
shelter at
Yeah,
all.
there's a lot of sick
I
ones
mean,
that
look
could be.
look
But
at all
if
the
they're-
vet clinics.
but
Every
if
vet
they're-
clinic has at least 2 or 3 cats. you
But
know?
Red, if they're sick, they
Yeah,
really
they
need to
have
be
to.
rounded
Yeah,
up.
I agree.
And, you know, the animal control, the animal shelter up there, the animal clinic, has kind of been the holding tank, and, you know, they've had 20 cats in the past. It would be better to get them off the street
Yeah,
and not spreading the stuff,
yeah,
and then find out how many we've got, and then see if the Iowa Alliance or anybody would be able to give us a hand. If they're even, you know, if they're too ill, they need to be,
put down.
But once again,
down.
we're getting into costs that are incurred with that scenario as
Yeah.
well, so.
Just a question for the rest of you. Do you think there are more stray cats than normal, or about the same, or less?
Honestly, I think it's about the same.
yeah,
Yeah.
that's.
You're
what's
out
good.
at night, and that's probably,
Yeah.
I mean, more likely to.
Yeah, and it's usually the same areas
Mhm.
of town too. So,
It's not an imminent problem or
Mm.
severe problem.
yeah. Yes, we'll get one call a month maybe about it, and it's usually somebody that wants a trap and has a trap out of their
Mhm.
house because
Yeah.
it's getting into their garbage and stuff, but I know on the west side of town specifically, a lot of that has to do with, you have a family that's putting food out,
Yeah,
Mhm.
and so then they start hitting the houses nearby them. Up there in the newer development, they're starting to roam
Well,
up
the
there.
town swallowed them up,
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
and you can't live like you're in the country anymore.
Mm-mm.
Just to, can you comment on last winter? We had a long, tough winter with a lot of snow. Did it make a difference?
I don't think so. 'Cause like I said, in those same areas, you continue to see them. I know one lady specifically who likes to house them,
Mhm.
even during the winter. You know, whether that be in their house with her other 20 she's got, or in the garage. But we were just at her house a couple weeks ago. There was a stray cat bit her. It's just like, well,
yeah,
you're putting food out, you're
She
attracting
she
them.
was the one who made the call.
Yeah.
Oh, for God's sake.
yeah, hello.
Well, because we initially got the report from Mercy Hospital. They're like, you know, we're faxing over an animal bite. And I went and talked to the lady's daughter. And she's like, yeah, you know, we put food out for these stray cats. And, oh, that might actually be it back there in the back. And she's like, we can't ever get near it or touch it. But Mom decided to pick her up for some reason. And cat bit her hand. So, I mean,
Hopefully no rabies are gonna
Yeah.
be incurred there.
we didn't get any reported rabies or anything like that, luckily. But, it's, you know, that's the risk you're going to
Yeah.
run, I guess, if you're going to
You're gonna pick them up.
pick them up and try to house every single one you can, but you know, BP for a while, which I haven't seen as many up there,
Mhm.
but BP around the dumpster was always one.
Larry's got a couple up there that
Mm,
started showing up,
yeah, it's usually 2 or 3.
yeah.
You know, we got 2 or 3 that run around out by the PD even, but
Have you gotten calls from the neighbors complaint-wise on the west side of town?
Work sites with them.
Actually,
just
there's one up there I'm trying to catch.
just the one. Is a house that's been feeding them
Mhm.
whatnots right there by the high school. So if you go up to the top of the hill there on Ridgeview, that's That's
Have there
what-
been neighbors in that area complaining that
Just
there's
one.
cats at large? Okay,
Cause they asked for a trap and
good.
Yeah,
we
well,
ended up
that's good.
getting one or two of them, so. We've been lending out the traps quite a bit, so whether that's been all for cats, I don't know,
Probably
but
not.
majority of them are probably lately been cats, so.
So when they call from up there, do you issue a animal at large complaint or fine? Or how many times do you, I mean, how
That's-
many calls will it take to?
It's the issue we run into with them to be in the strays. You know, this lady, even though she got bit, it's like, well, who would we go
Well, no,
after?
the
Yeah,
rest
yeah.
of town, because,
I've only had the one that I've dealt with out there. I mean, it would just be as simple as chief or somebody going down and talking to them and letting them know, what's going on, that we're getting a lot of complaints, but,
because I think we need to do that.
Yeah.
I do too.
okay,
Being it's in the ordinance, that's our kind of
Yeah.
our
The
first.
talk was last week that they're being observed
yeah.
and they're yearly having at least one litter of kittens that we know of.
Mhm.
Yeah, if not more.
I mean,
Yeah.
that's-
And I've seen one or two dead out on the
Yeah.
road there.
Well,
And
there's-
Yeah, so, I mean, cause they constantly run out
Well,
across the street.
and the health concerns are
Mhm.
disturbing because if, there's gonna be people's pets that are in their yard, in compliance with the ordinances, and these sick cats,
Mhm.
they shouldn't really, if the cats are ill, there shouldn't be any objection to getting the things trapped
Yeah.
and then relocate them.
Mhm.
Because unless we were gonna set up some kind of a colony specifically out there, and that's in town,
Yeah,
and it's,
Yeah,
I'm not sure how the neighbors would feel about that.
Mhm.
If, hopefully people understand that that's kind of the way the ordinances work. If there's a problem, they need to get a hold of you guys.
Mhm.
Well, and I spoke to several that
Mhm.
live up there, and they're supposed to be calling.
This is
They
kind of where it
weren't
falls
aware,
down a
yeah.
little bit,
They
is,
weren't aware that they were supposed
Yes.
to.
Yeah,
and-
because, when it goes unreported, then,
yeah, then what do you do?
yeah.
I mean, you can't just sit there and talk about it and then not
Right.
call and report.
Mhm.
I know they've called
Yeah.
the city offices a couple times, but I said you need to call
Right.
the police.
get a regular complaint filed, and then that gives you guys
Then
the
we can have
opportunity.
record of it, especially.
Absolutely.
How many, how often we're getting complaints and whatnot, so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think at this stage, we were gonna put it in their purview to find out how other cities are handling it and to find numbers, so we could deal with
Mhm.
costs and things.
Yeah, because if we don't have some type of an idea how many numbers,
We
then
really
we
can't deal
can't,
with it, yeah.
we can't say, yeah, we're gonna put this program into effect. Well, then there's 200 cats. Well, okay, so where are we gonna come up with that money?
Yeah,
If it's 20 or 30, that's one thing, but,
Do
Yeah.
we have colonies proper identified as far as like?
and that's what we
except
need to
the-
do.
They were talking about
I mean, they had what?
areas, but
four or five. that
I
they
think
said
5 was in the,
Specifically.
okay. I'll probably contact Lynn or Ashley or somebody and
Okay.
just to see, this is where we're at and can you get those numbers to
Mhm.
us and
Yeah,
Yep.
so that we
We'll go
can
from
move forward on it
Yeah.
a little bit easier.
we'll keep this in our file.
Yeah, absolutely.
So, good start for if we do something. Okay. Last time we talked, we were gonna visit this time about some security at the dog park. Anybody have any more ideas or?
I still think a coded gate was the.
Yeah, I
That's-
did.
Although I
That's
had somebody complain the other day that it is a city park and why does it cost money?
I saw it on
and-
Facebook.
Mhm.
And I also had somebody say that there is partying out there,
I know that's
Drinking.
happening.
so we need to make sure.
That's more on
Police
you guys though.
know that.
What was it?
That there's
dog park.
drinking and
People are
partying
partying in the
out
dog
at the dog park with their dogs.
And it's only supposed to be
I mean,
open
there's
till-
10 cars out there right now, I just drove by.
Are you serious?
Yeah,
Really?
And it's probably the same group.
Well, that's always the
There-
same group.
Yeah.
out there.
There's always a set same
On-
group that are out there.
There was a initial, on the Voices of West Branch Facebook page, apparently not this past Saturday, the Saturday before,
Yeah.
there was quite a dogfight out there apparently.
Oh,
there
wow.
was.
It got deleted before I could even
Oh,
really
Read
dig
it?
into it.
yeah.
I know it was, the girl works at Casey's. But I don't know, like I said, I don't know how much further that went. I don't know if you had a report on it or not.
We took a report of it. My understanding from what I got out of talking to them was they have a puppy. You know, and I've seen dogs playing out there.
Yeah.
They
I mean,
they
it's
wrestle,
rough.
they get
It's rough,
rough,
yeah.
but you know, to them they're having
Yeah,
fun.
absolutely.
Yeah.
You bring a little puppy in there that isn't going to know what it's doing or
Yeah.
be able to defend itself. It's going to look like it's taking a beating.
Yeah.
And so owners picked up on that. They tried to pull the dog away. Well, got nipped is what they described it as. So they didn't want to do anything about being bit or anything. But they're just like, well, we're bringing this to your attention just because
Yeah.
our puppy got attacked.
Well, it's a dog park.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's, I mean,
That's
it's
the first
rough.
thing that crossed my mind. You know, I don't try to pass too much judgment when people are complaining, but it's like, well, I've seen the dogs
They're
rough play. I mean, that's normal to them. So hey, there's a new pup. Let's bring him in.
Was
Yeah.
the puppy injured bad enough to
No.
get vet?
I mean, it all just came off of what they envisioned it as. I mean,
Yeah.
dogs playing even at that size,
Yeah.
they're still going to go at their necks. They're still going to bite their face.
And a
So
puppy's
I
got-
guess it went for the puppy's neck,
Yeah.
and that's really what tipped him over. So
Oh, good Lord.
we haven't heard any follow up to it. They haven't wanted to push the issue too much. I think the Facebook deal was something about there needs to be something against the dogs playing like that, but
Yeah, I mean,
what
they're
dogs
dogs,
do.
yeah.
That's what dogs do. So.
And it's what the dog park's for.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'd seen it got deleted, but I think it was because everybody was commenting and basically saying that, hey,
Well,
this
they were
is
saying that-
what dogs do.
That
So,
puppy shouldn't be out there at 8 months
Yeah.
old and, you know.
so Chief had mentioned the idea of if we had anything in set that was regarding the age, you know, dogs being out there if they needed to be a certain age or certain size,
Over
but
6 months.
Vaccine.
that's what I
is the
thought,
big-
6
Yeah.
months,
big
I think
so
it's over 6 months and it's gotta be,
vaccinated. And,
yeah, they have to be
They have to be
vaccinated.
rabies vaccinated.
Yeah.
but, you know, and I don't think the size thing's gonna do any difference because I
No.
see people
Little
with
dogs?
little dogs
Yeah.
out there
Yeah.
doing the same thing and
Yeah.
having fun,
And
so.
they're playing with
And
the
if they
big
want,
dogs.
if
And they're
they
playing
wanna
with the big
donate more
dogs,
money,
exactly.
we can make a small dog park. If
Yeah.
anybody
Yeah,
wants to
right.
donate money to make another small dog area.
But back to what Amy was saying, is that the talk that you were going through was that people don't understand that why they're supposed to pay for the
Yeah.
dog park. Did you ever get any clearance on, like, I mean, did you get somebody
Well,
to
I-
understand?
The whole big long paragraph I wrote, and it's
I
like, you know, it's, number one, it's to help us maintain or put new things out there. And number two, it's to make sure all the dogs that go there are vaccinated.
That's exactly right.
That's the
Because
law.
how else are we gonna know that these dogs are
Well,
vaccinated?
do we know that that puppy was even, I'm
Well,
guessing
yeah.
that, you know?
And that's the other thing we're running into. There's a lot of people that go
Oh, I
out there that
know.
aren't paying, and we gotta
Mhm.
figure out what we're gonna do with that, because that's just,
It's
'cause
not
we
fair
don't-
to
we
the
don't know if
people
they're
that
vaccinated.
actually
Yeah,
pay too. I
absolutely.
mean, it's not fair to them.
And I don't know if the city would put themselves in a liable situation if,
Yeah.
you know, there would be a dog that had rabies that
Yeah.
got out there and, you know, and the city is the one who's, you know, holding the bag
Yeah.
with the dog park. So that's, you know, a huge motivation for,
Mhm.
So it just come back on us. for
Yeah.
it.
it
yeah,
would.
exactly. I think of keypad.
I do too.
I think the keep out
I-
would be good, you
I
know,
agree.
you have to be registered to get,
Yep.
get the code and.
And we can change it every couple months and send,
We can see how much
and it's
partying
expensive.
afterwards
I mean,
are.
the month is expensive. It's like 15.
I'm gonna be watching for that now.
Oh, thank God, really?
1750, I think is the area that I found.
So if we do a coded entry, we probably will not have money for a TNR.
No.
I did talk to someone from, I don't know how to say it, Nulo. He's, the
Oh, that's a-
Midwest, yeah, it's a dog
Pet-
food.
Pet food?
Yeah, he's a Midwest, regional manager, and he said he does help fund certain programs. And I got his email, I have his card at home.
Awesome.
So he said if we sent him some information, and I can give it to Ashley,
Like a grant?
yeah, she
Yeah.
could look into, or she could email him all of the information he would, because they give out grants every year.
That's awesome.
So you
So-
can give the grant for the,
For the TNR.
Yeah.
program.
for the TNR part?
Yeah, I talked to him
Not
at
for
the
the coded
bicycle
entry.
thing in Iowa City, yeah, a couple of weeks ago.
Sure.
So, I mean, that's something she could contact him and give him all the, or we could
Yeah.
too, just to see.
That's
And
a
he
good one.
also partners with Leash on Life. So both
Awesome.
of them would.
Good.
And like we said, the banners, I mean, we could put if we wanted, since, I mean,
Well, that could be another way that we
Yeah.
could raise some money for the
to
lot.
put banners out there.
Mm-hmm.
Do
Yeah,
the
like a little league
advertisement.
baseball
Yeah, why
field,
not?
Why
Yeah.
not?
I mean,
I mean, I hate that look, but
I do too, but at least it makes money. It's just like the
But yeah.
football field, I mean, they put
yeah,
The
stuff
shameless
up there, they all have
billboards
to
out
pay
there.
every year, and that's what,
yeah.
We
Makes
should
money.
probably
I
make a
mean, we could make a
decision.
plaque out there instead of putting banners too.
We should probably make a decision at our next meeting, because if we're gonna do it, we probably should do it at registration time.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Which is January.
That'd be a good idea.
yeah,
Okay,
I mean, that's a
And we'll
good
have to
idea.
figure out how that would, I mean, I think it would, as long as people didn't share the code,
Oh, that's
Yeah.
gonna happen, I'm sure, but
Yeah.
I mean, it'll limit it.
yeah. It'll cut it down some.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know what else, I mean, other than having somebody out there 24/7, how you gonna,
And we could change,
Those-
couldn't Leslie get everybody's email and change it, like
Uh-huh.
randomly every 3 months?
There
just
wouldn't
change
be,
the code
wouldn't
and
be
send
any
them a new
reason
email?
not to.
yeah.
That's a
Be
good
an
idea.
easy way, and just say
It's getting handed around.
yeah, say on the
Absolutely.
registration, you will get a new email every 3 months with a new code.
yeah, no. We've got about 5 months of the year is pretty much not used,
Yeah,
but maybe like midsummer.
Yeah, something.
yeah.
Okay, let's pursue that at the next meeting and make a decision. And I'll get a closer look at our budget, see
Okay.
how much, can we fund it or not.
You might stop at Tractor Supply and see what they're, because they got all kinds of pet food there, maybe see who they're, who's
Yeah.
doing their ordering, maybe I can get some names, beyond that neutral
Yeah.
or
Yeah.
whatever
Yeah.
it is.
That'd be a really good idea.
We'll be out there tomorrow, I'll just talk to
If
see
if we
what I
could
can find.
fund it, I mean, it's gonna stretch our budget, but if we could fund it without the fundraising thing, then we can keep it clean.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
get that, I get
Yeah.
that.
But what if we?
But
I
like
mean,
this grant,
But-
that's probably not gonna require
No.
a sign.
No,
No, but could we look, contact like Cargill or, and some of the area businesses for maybe a donation? I mean, I was gonna do that for the fence, but we could do it for this right now.
why don't we find out, I'll find out about the budget, we'll find out the cost, and we'll go from there.
And you don't wanna go with a real cheap one, I
Mm-mm.
guess. I mean, there were some $400 or $500 ones, but I don't know
But that
how long
would
that
be
would
on
last.
And you would-
a
yeah.
house with an overhang
Yeah.
and protected, this is gonna
Yep.
be pretty open.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I don't think
Okay.
you'd need one out there in the winter, I mean, we could go pull it in
Oh, during the winter time.
when it,
Yeah.
first freeze or whatever, first snow. Of course, then I'd probably end up with the tetherball base.
yeah, yeah.
But, I mean, even if it was, one of us
Yeah.
could handle it for a couple months,
Mhm.
so it doesn't have to,
That withstand the
Yeah.
cold
Yeah.
elements. Yeah.
that's really what's hard.
And put it on this spring.
Yeah,
Mhm. That may
I
not
would
be a
imagine
bad idea.
ice and stuff would be,
Hard.
That'd be
that would be the
hard.
hardest
Yeah.
thing, I think. So,
Well, it was on the mailbox that's out there.
Yeah,
yeah, okay. Last spring, we made a change about 1 year versus 3 year licensing, which required an ordinance change. That has not been sent to the commission yet, or the council. And Leslie said she'd probably have it within 2 weeks, because they're cleaning up a lot of ordinance deals. So
Okay.
I thought if it has been done, it should be in our minutes, and it hasn't been.
okay.
So when it's done, we'll probably bring it back and put it in our minutes.
Okay.
So, the other thing on old business, anything on the culvert, are we gonna put it in this fall or not?
Well, if it ever dries up.
We're talking next year then.
Yeah.
Well, that's gonna have to go through that gate, I'm guessing the city has that, the
Lock,
city
yeah.
guys have the key to that lock?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yep.
because they go in and
Sure,
mow.
we know that
Mhm.
now?
Yeah.
Oh, they gotta open it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
Right.
true, okay.
Yep.
Okay, well, yeah,
If you need any help with that, I'm happy to help, I mean, I don't
Okay.
know how much, what it's gonna take, but it's pretty easy, he's probably just gonna bring a steel loader,
chain in
right?
there
Yeah.
and set it down,
Yeah.
Yep.
but it's,
But you guys have to show me where you want it.
Yeah, maybe
So I
we'll-
can-
I suppose that weed is gone?
yeah,
Yeah.
probably, yeah.
Okay, we had it all ID. Yeah, and I
Because you
don't
don't
know
wanna
that,
drive the backhoe in there without, when it's soaking.
Wet.
No,
wet.
no, no.
and I'm not sure that we'll get it done this fall, because it just doesn't look good. So,
And if we don't do it till next spring, that's fine too, but.
I think they'll appreciate it anytime they get it.
Yeah, I think so
Yeah.
too.
we don't have to pay storage on it, do we?
No.
Any other old business? Okay, new business, police report.
That was really all we got. It's just that the dog complaint with the dog fighting, and then our cat bite with the cat house. So it's been the only two we've had lately. So
Any, I guess can I ask, was the cat taken in for rabies?
no, because
Okay.
there's no getting it.
Yeah.
There's no catching it. I mean, they said they could not even get close to it, and the lady snuck up on it and picked it up and got bit.
Good.
Yeah. Now, if the cat is ID'd and you need to take the cat in,
Yeah.
you know where to hit it if you have to, right?
Yeah, right. Yeah, the idea, yeah. Yeah, she had no info on it. Just, oh, we put cat food out in the back, and this is one of the new ones that's been coming. And
Yeah.
that was that. So
Okay.
that's the only two I've got. We haven't had any stray dog calls in a while. We did get a report, I think, yesterday. Somebody walking along West Orange and the dog leaving feces out in people's yard and the owner not picking it up. But so we're trying to keep an eye out for that to see if we get more complaints or a better description for that matter. But
I should just walk a bag out to them.
yeah,
That's what I do.
well, I
I
think
used to
there's
do.
a sign out there. It's even posted.
Yeah, there
You know,
is.
out there
Yeah.
at the Lions Park. So
Some people use, that doesn't matter.
No.
Oh, absolutely.
Oh, yeah.
not.
I see it in the Hoover Park too.
yeah.
Some of those in Hoover Park are probably fox.
Not this big.
No.
Okay. I saw 2 pounds yesterday that I'm not sure what they are, but there's a lot of digging going on.
Yeah.
So I'm not sure what they are. Probably they're after something like voles, I suppose.
Oh, yeah, sure.
Yeah.
So
There's a
presumably
very large
fox.
groundhog out there. It's about
Yes.
that size running around, so I'm not sure.
Right.
But that would be the digging, but I don't know if the scat would be attributable.
I haven't seen the local fox yet this season, so
Seen a couple
Yeah.
of them.
I haven't seen one yet.
I
either.
went running over from Gillen Waters to Hebel's Foursquare, and then, but there's not been nearly as many,
no, yeah.
which is kind of
A
nice.
lot less.
Yeah.
Blame it on the cats.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
chickens.
There is
They
a
were all out
balance.
there too.
Oh, I'm sure
There
there
is.
is.
Oh, absolutely.
So, anything from city manager?
I probably will. This is so new news to me that I still need to do some research. But there might be some state code issues that could come to bear with regard to the feral cat discussion.
Okay.
So I just was made aware of 717B.8. I haven't looked it up yet, but
Yep.
there may be some challenges with catching and releasing and stuff like that with feral cats.
In the city limits.
I don't know exactly. I haven't talked to the city attorney yet. It literally just came to me, or was brought to my attention today. So I haven't seen what they provided, and I wasn't sure if that was an Iowa city that they have gotten that passed through, or if it was an outside of state city. So
At the state level, there's been a lot of discussion that Iowa ranks number 48 in the country in animal welfare
Oh, yeah.
issues. That's for some groups, that number is getting put out a lot. And in the last legislative session, the House passed a bill, fairly comprehensive, and a lot of groups had a lot of input. Some don't like parts of it, but the House has passed it. In its next session, if there's no change, the Senate can pass it, and it will become law. If there are changes, it has to go back to the House, and the Senate and voted on again.
Mhm.
But they're probably, and that's where the 17B comes from.
Okay. Okay.
So, last I heard it, there's enough good in it that they probably will pass it without changes, but there's still gonna be some input.
Well, I don't know the ins and outs, but there was some discussion, the context of what it was presented to me about the bird population and feral cats maybe having a negative effect on the bird population. Are we getting alarmingly low, maybe? I don't know. But anyway, I figure I would probably look into it more before I really said anything, because I don't know much about it. And again,
That's always part of the discussion, and they do kill a lot of birds. But again, it's that balance thing.
Yeah,
You get rid of all cats, you have more rodents and other fox and other things.
right.
And at what level is it acceptable? So,
it's a balance of nature.
yeah, but it is true that birds do kill a lot of birds.
Cats.
I mean, cats.
Bird on bird crime, yeah.
Yeah, that's gonna be the next thing.
Yeah, sure, vulture.
Geese taking each other out at the
Sorry.
dog park.
Yeah.
Okay, any other new business? We will meet again in November. And by tradition, we don't in December, but we'll have to decide at our next meeting.
Well, that may have to do with the lock and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah. Hopefully we can make a decision on the lock, the TNR, we're not sure, so.
Can we maybe do that over email or something even to do the purchase to get it rolling?
We can't do a vote,
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
but,
Of course, we probably won't need it till spring.
At this point, no.
Yeah.
be nice to know something before licensure.
Yeah, yep. Then we'll have to send a notice out with it.
Okay, move to adjourn.
Move to
Second,
adjourn.
all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Done, thanks.